first things first.
Halo
Infinite.
Right. So we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite today with all the news that's been going around. I brought my friend Justin on to the stream with that. Well, stream, recording, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
I brought him on here so that we could discuss what's going on. We have a list prepared in order to be able to keep our minds straight. I'm going to try and keep this unedited as long as I can, unless something goes wrong, like I said.
Unless I make a mistake, which could happen.
But mistakes are natural, you know. Or like if the mic stand just decides to give out on us, that's when I start to edit stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, so first off, we're going to talk about introductions and how long we've been playing Halo. So I've been playing Halo since Halo 1, and to be fair, I was very young, so I don't really remember much of Halo 1, but I do remember a lot of Halo 2 and 3, and so on. Now, Justin, how long have you been playing Halo?
I've played all the Halos, but when I was young, my main focus was Halo Reach. Because, I mean, we hopped on and played that.
We played that so much.
We played that a lot.
That was kind of like Minecraft. It's one of those old classics that you just played so much when you were a kid that it's ingrained into your mind. Yeah,
and I mean, that's the one that I have the most vivid memory of is definitely Halo Reach. I played Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo 1. I've tried all the Halos. The one that I had the most fun on, though, was definitely Halo Reach when I was younger. I played a little bit of Halo 4. I haven't played Halo 5. I really just didn't have that drive to try to connect with that Halo, but other than that, I mean, you know, I've played a lot of the Halos and I enjoyed all of the Halos that I played.
And you know, the best thing about Halo Reach was, well, one of the best things was the Forge itself, because you were able to make crazy customizable maps that you would not see on any other game.
In my opinion, that was one of the most replayable Halos.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Even on MCC, we will go back to it every now and then and just play Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Well, ever since the ban, you know.
Yeah, for you guys at home, I got banned for no reason, taking full advantage of a double XP weekend. And I guess sword lining is against the rules, so it got me banned for about close to a month. So that was not fun. That's been the last time.
For a little bit of clarity, for MCC fans, when Halo Reach first came out, we sat there and grinded for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden we all got banned because we had gained too much XP too fast, and they thought we were hacking. And we were banned for 2 months.
Yeah.
It was.
I know you and one of our other friends was banned for quite a while.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys weren't even able to touch the game for, I think, close to 2 months.
Right. Justin was able.
I was banned for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. He was banned for just a couple of weeks. We got banned for a couple of months.
I got the slap to the wrist. You guys were sent to juvie.
And it's funny. I still find it funny how our other friend just got the same ban.
Yeah.
And we just did nothing. We just grinded. But anyways, I think that's good for introductions. So we're going to talk about what we've been shown so far with Halo Infinite, okay? So far, the new controversial thing that's come out is that instead of colors, we now have things called coatings. Where instead of changing out the colors like the secondary primary color, we now have it to where we basically have set colors, kind of like skins, for the armor. They said that they wanted to do this because they have new textures for the armor. Like, you can put some armors look plastic, some armors look like they've been worn down and stuff like that through battle, but they said that they couldn't conform it to the new color system, or at least they didn't want to. But we all know the reason, that they wanted to make money off of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's kind of a step backwards, taking the color system away. I mean, in every single Halo, you could customize your color. Like we were talking about last night, I'd much rather put money into a texture than money into, each color. And I honestly I think that was one of the reasons why Halo Reach, for instance, was very replayable. You could have your own personality with your character. You were able to customize it the way you wanted it. Color, armor, I mean, you name it. You just had full control over that character.
Everything. And you earned everything too.
Yes.
I don't think there was a single thing that you had to use money for.
No, and I just think that this was one of the ways that microtransactions were going to be able to sneak in.
Except for the fire helmet. That was the only thing that you had to purchase.
Yeah.
Like, that was a pre-order item. Now, what he's talking about is that last night I suggested that they could, instead of having these coatings per se, they could actually have, like, where you could customize your colors, and then you could buy textures. And that would be amazing. You could put on your own colors, figure out what you want, and then you could put the wear and tear. You could look plastic, you could look metallic, you can look whatever you want. Or they could keep the coatings in, but also keep the color system in.
Right.
But at the same time, you also got to worry, because there's some things that they could do with these coatings. Because, like I was saying on Fortnite, there's a lot of times where they would like to be like, okay, so here's a free coating skin, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
That is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And then for $5, you can get the same skin, but with different colors.
Right.
You could then for $10 get it with a little bit of flame stickers on there. And Call of Duty does this a lot recently. And then $20 you could have the armor just changed a little bit, and then for $100 you could go a whole full different set of armor that looks amazing, but not too amazing because they might want to do a $200 version. You have no idea.
Well, that's the thing I hate too. I feel like gaming in general is a very big copy and paste of all other, Epic Games made a lot of money off of Fortnite in its prime, obviously from the shop. I feel when it was leaked how much money they made around the Christmas time was when a wave kind of just shot through all of the other developers. And that's when you just saw heavy microtransactions.
Right.
But again, I just think that that's a real step in the wrong direction for Halo.
Major wrong step.
Because, I mean, at least let us have the default color system. You know, the thing is I'm okay if they want to come out with jaw-dropping cosmetics that are like, hey, $20 will unlock this over some holiday or something like that. If they want to do that, that's okay.
Right.
It's more of the fact that they are monetizing just the basic skin colors, and I really don't think that's a good idea.
Right. That's what we were talking about. Like, Halo wants to try and make this new money, all this money, like Fortnite and Call of Duty does. But what they failed to realize is Fortnite was brand new, so they could do anything they wanted and no one would have to say about it because they've never seen it before. Call of Duty added new features and then made them purchasable.
Right.
But Halo has taken away a feature and made it purchasable. Yeah. And that has made it to where no one is excited about it, or at least no one who's played Halo is excited about it.
Right. You definitely have your vets, the people who have played Halo for a long time.
Been that since Halo 1, right.
Definitely are showing their
even
anger about this because I mean, like I said, me just playing Halo, I didn't play it religiously, but I mean, when I was younger, I played it a lot, and it was one of those things where you could always just have fun with the colors. This time I want to be like neon purple and stick out like a sore thumb. The next time I want to be like black and red and kind of like that mysterious and have like your cape customization and stuff like that. But now I think that they're just trying to make a quick dollar off of the color skins, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Right, and now we also have it's been leaked in multiple in like a what's it called, a Halo Waypoint post, that there are going to be charms and armor emblems. Okay, so armor emblems are basically emblems for your armor that are stuck onto your armor.
Yep.
Unlike the normal player emblem that shows up in your banner.
Yes.
And they're considered two separate things. So that makes me worried that they're putting in a bunch of filler items for, a possible battle pass that they have coming out.
Yeah.
There's no way that they won't do a battle pass, because every game seems to have gotten used to a battle pass ever since loot boxes went away.
Well, I mean, it's incredibly successful for companies. I mean, you've got like $10 if you want like the cheap version, where you start from level 1 and you work your way up, which as a grinder when it comes to games, that's okay for me as long as they put in a system where I can buy the next battle pass for free, as is, in Call of Duty or in Fortnite or a lot of the other games with battle passes where they put in that system of, hey, you can earn back your money and get the next one free. As long as they do that, I'm okay with it. But at the same time, Call of Duty in general, filler items are all over the place. Right. I mean, it's gotten a little bit better in the battle passes, but when it first came out for the first 2 seasons, there was a lot of filler items, and it feels like
skins that literally were the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And I also want to talk about what one of the employees said, which Halo seems to not be talking about it much, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But one of the employees actually said that there will be tons of different coatings and cosmetics that will make you unique in your own way. But that's also worrisome because they said the same thing about Halo 5 armor, but yet, and there's 300 different armor types, but every armor has 5 different variants where it's the exact same armor, but with different stripes on it, basically.
Oh.
And that was upsetting for multiple, one of the helmets, literally, one was a stripe down here, one was a stripe like this, and then one was a stripe vertical like this. That was it.
Yeah.
It was the same helmet over and over again. So it makes me worried that what they think is unique is just the same thing pasted again. So that it kind of feels lazy in a way.
And I mean, I'm okay with the charms and armor emblems if that's what they want behind the cosmetic, you have to purchase this, because I don't really feel like charms and armor emblems are going to be that big of what people want. It's one of those things, hey, I've got some money laying around, I really, really like this charm, I'll purchase this, and then just use that. But what about the $5 coating and $2 emblem?
Right.
From Cookies.
Right, Cookies. So with the new Oreo package system and Chips Ahoy, but I'm referencing Oreo because that's the one that everyone can know. Right now they are starting to send out Oreo packaging with Master Chief on there, saying you could win awesome prizes, and which I've not found any. I actually went over to a couple different gas stations to try and find them. They haven't sold them, but they have these little tags underneath the Oreos that say "Coming soon, Halo Infinite."
Yeah.
Which you can only get them and redeem the code by December 31st. So be ready for that. But there's a website you can go to in order to redeem them, and you have to redeem, I want to say, 5 cookies, 5 king-size pack of cookies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And each one that you redeem gives you something new. And each one of them, there was 2 armors, 2 player emblems, and then an armor emblem. And each one showed what the price is, and this isn't what someone else thinks. This is what 343 says that they think the price of these certain items should be. So we got the Monarch skin, which is just purple, which I will show up on the screen when I get to editing.
Yeah.
We got a purple Monarch skin. We also have a different blue armor skin, which I really want to try and find. And both of them said that it would be $5. And then we got the emblems and armor emblems, which said that they would be $2 each. Now, I don't know about you, but $5 for the color purple is very upsetting. That's terrible. Same with emblems. Yeah. Emblems are very little things, and apparently it looks like, and I'm not saying this for sure, but it looks like that the emblems aren't going to be customizable anymore. They're going to be kind of like, again, Call of Duty. They're set in stone. You have to get the ones you want.
Yeah. The problem is you got to think about long term here. You know, one color being $5, and let's say they've got 22 to 35 colors, right, that you can purchase. I just think that's stupid. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's $5 a color. Like, oh, I want to be black and red this round, so I'm gonna have to, fork out $10 so that I can use both colors.
Of course, they said that you're gonna be able to earn a lot, but again, that brings us back to what do they think is cool and unique.
Right.
But I do understand that they are gonna have some stuff that is out for Oreos and monsters. Yeah. They did it with every Halo. Every single Halo has had some sort of promotional item that if you bought this, you would get this. Even GameStop, right now they have it to where if you go and purchase something from GameStop from November 9th to December 13th, you would get a red and black coating, which I will show again up onto the screen.
Yeah.
Which I guess I don't mind those promotions, but it makes you really worried for how are they going to send it out.
Right.
Oh, and people were actually worried that at first coatings, you'd have to buy them, and then you only get to use them once in game, and then they disappear, and you have to buy them again. But that's not the case. They've said that's not the case. Oh. I just wanted to clear that up for anyone that's watching and is worried about that.
No, I just, I don't know. Has me a little worried about the whole color system and how they're really going to handle that, because, like I said, it would stink if they locked that behind paywalls.
Right.
I do understand that times are changing. Gaming is now a heavy microtransaction and heavy purchase this, purchase that to play with. The only thing though that I'm worried about is how much cool stuff are we going to be able to earn, and how much cool stuff are we going to have to pay for.
Right.
It's the fact, just looking at all the other games.
But this also goes to another thing. How much cool stuff, how much garbage stuff will we have to pay for too?
Yes.
Because that makes you wonder, in Battle Pass, there could easily be multiple different coatings in there that are just absolute garbage, and then at the very last one, tier 100, is a really decent skin, but not the best, because they want to come out with a new one.
Right.
But it's funny because someone actually added up all the colors, and I know I mentioned this to you before, but someone added up all the colors and everything in Halo Reach, all the customization, all the emblems, and the Halo would have cost $14,000 if they would have made it that way, and even more if they added in the colors for emblems and stuff like that, and all the mix and match.
Yeah.
And that's funny to me.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get on to the next topic, which is marketing, because I don't know what Halo is doing, but they went for an absolute long time, months, without showing us anything, and then they just dropped this out of nowhere, the coatings, and then left. And there are employees trying to say, calm everyone down, but it's almost as if they're behind a contract where they can't say much. And everyone felt like they got a Fortnite feel to this. That's what they felt like this was, and that's a really bad feel to it. Right. Because this is supposed to be Halo that everyone loves. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, again, from a business standpoint, Fortnite made a lot of money in its prime. But like you said, it was a newer game. People were amazed at the gameplay of it, right? You never really had a battle royale that came out with building mechanics like that. And people kind of fell in love with it, and that's why you had people just purchasing skin after skin after skin. Right. When it comes to Halo's been out for a long time, and it's definitely made a path for itself. And when it comes to microtransactions, I think it's one of those things where they have to handle it very delicately, mostly because if you're trying to appease the masses when it comes to skins and they don't like it, all that you're going to be left with is your main player base. Right. And the problem is you want to hold on to your main player base while you can. And that's why, another thing, the whole Fortnite feel, I think they're doing the whole color thing so that they can come out with skins in this item shop or something. Which is one of those things that I don't like. That's not Halo. Like you said, that's other games. Halo's always been one of those games that you grind out, and that you could put just a lot of time into trying to get that one thing. Right. And I just don't like the way they're going, but that's just my opinion. Right. But yeah, they're definitely trying to copy other games that have come out. Another thing that we did already talk about was just the basic feature
that they're
being taken
away.
out.
But what I do want to talk about is personality. And Halo, for the longest time, even now, is saying how their game is completely based on personality and has always been based on personality. And that was what the whole point of the color system was, to make you look different from everyone else. Mm-hmm. And they kept on trying to do that. And even I think Halo Reach was the most personality-based game, because you had so much different armor combinations, along with emblem combinations and color combinations. That made it to where you had so many different ways of doing it, and that was amazing. But now they seem to be taking that out, and yet they still say that you're gonna have your own personality. But how? Because you like in Call of Duty and Fortnite, if a skin comes out, you could purchase it, but so can someone else.
Yeah.
So how's that going to be?
It's the thing, like I said back in Halo Reach time. You could constantly keep configuring your colors to what you wanted, and they were free. It's always been a free part of Halo to do your colors the way you want it. Not to say that someone else could do those colors, but there was a feel for it. That that was specifically to you. You liked the look. That's what you wanted. And now they're just, like our last segment, taking away a basic feature and making it to where you have to pay for that to customize your character the way that you truly want it. When, colors are just such a big part of Halo. Character customization is a big part of Halo. And for Halo players, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm. But we also are kind of worried, I guess, because they seem to be appealing to the masses at this moment in time.
Yep.
And they don't really want to deal with the Halo players anymore. I'm sure they do still want old veteran Halo players to still play their game, but that's not their main focus anymore. What they want is for the people who have never played Halo, who've never seen the old system of colors and stuff, so that they can turn it into skins and stuff, because then someone like from Fortnite, I know people have said this before, someone from Fortnite can come over and be like, oh, this, apparently black and white is not the default skin, by the way. It's supposedly supposed to be the Master Chief color. So someone could be a Master Chief color armor, be like, oh, okay, so this is just like the default version, just kind of like, how, what's his name from Fortnite is the default,
just the default
Jones.
character. Yeah, Jonesy.
Jonesy. He's the default character, and no one will bat an eye. But what they've sadly mistaken into taking into account is that the same mask that plays Fortnite and Call of Duty is the same mask that will look onto the internet to know what is good and what is not. And if they see how Halo is doing all this, and how, everyone can say, oh, Halo is bad, Halo is terrible, they won't even give the game a chance in order to play it. They just won't buy it. So then, not only will they lose the Halo fan base if they continue down this path, they might also lose the mass fan base, which could just end Halo in its entirety. Which, of course, it might take a few years, but because Halo has been around for so long, I'm sure there's going to be those veterans that will stick with whatever happens. But how much longer can Halo last after getting a hit like that?
Yeah, that's definite. And then the next topic, a drought. Not really saying anything whatsoever regarding their game, like we talked about.
We'll move on to how can they fix this, because we pretty much covered basics when it comes to marketing. They could, and I've said this before already in this video, the color system. They could easily make sure that they can keep that fan base by just adding the colors back in. Adding colors back in. Keep the coatings. You can keep the coatings in there. We don't mind.
Right.
Because even if the coatings have different textures, people want to use the coatings in order to use those textures. Even though they're not the colors they want, they like the texture. But people will want to use their own colors. Because I can tell you what, that red and black armor look with the torn up look, worn down, I might use that a lot. But I also want to use my own colors. And then we've got filler items. Okay. I'm so worried about this. Like I said, they could easily put in the Battle Pass and item shop tons and and they could easily put challenges. They have already proven that there's going to be challenges. Okay, because with the Butterfinger one, they have a Butterfinger code thing where you take it off the Butterfinger, if you get 10 Butterfingers, you get a 5 challenge slot, which means there are going to be challenges, which is probably for the Battle Pass, but they could also be using it in order to be like, complete this challenge, you get this item. And instead of getting some cool armor piece, you know, you'll get something like a charm or a banner or an emblem, which normally would be fine, but the more filler items they add, the harder it's going to be to get a cool challenge that gives you something good.
Yes. Yeah, they could definitely take this in a direction of other games and really just ruin the challenge system in a whole, which I hope they don't. Another problem is possible loot boxes, you know, if that does come, because I know, didn't she say Halo 5 had...
Halo 5 had requisitions. That's what they called them.
Loot boxes.
Right. They had requisitions, but this was like... You gotta think, Halo 5 was released so long ago, because then they started working on Halo MCC. But Halo 5 was released right before the technical ban of loot boxes, or the backlash of it thereof, because people found it gambling for kids and they didn't want that. Now, all of a sudden there's talk with Call of Duty that there is possible loot boxes coming back into the game, along with, you know, the Battle Pass, which has people wondering, is Halo going to do the same thing?
Yeah. It's a definite wonder, because, I mean, supply drops in the past were also one of those very money gainers for games, but at the same time they filled it with just stuff that people really didn't want, and also duplicates, bad, and it's just one of those things that it's kind of, you fear for the release of Halo, because you don't want that game that you're really anticipating to just fall off the cliff, you know, and use something that people have already stated that they just don't like.
But now that I think about it, and I think back to how the loot boxes and stuff worked, it kind of was better back then. Yeah. Because they were able to use loot boxes to where, oh, you want to get this item? Well, if you buy a bunch of loot boxes, then you can get that item. Which before we hated. But now I'd much rather have the loot boxes back than go to the item shop and have to purchase literally everything. Because how much, if we had those loot boxes back in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, how many items do you think would actually be purchasable?
Well, it depends on how frequent they made it to where you get it for free. If it was one of those things where, as in Halo Infinite, I want, where if they are going to bring back supply drops, making it to where you can, as you level up, you get 1 to 2 of them every time you level up, making it to where the grind will be that much more satisfying when you get to a point to where you're pretty much getting everything you want. Again, depending on how they handle, you know, the duplicate system, which has been in every single game when it comes to supply drops, or filler items. Again, they could just pack those things with stuff that people really don't want, you know, and make it to where you have to open 100 to 200 crates before you get that armor piece that you're like really seeking after.
Because, like I said with Halo 5, I played all the way till I was level 121. There was only ever one armor piece I ever wanted, and it was I believe an Emil armor. And I got the armor piece, but I did not get the helmet, and I grinded that out for so long, never got it. Always got filler items, you know, the common armors that had different shapes on it.
And now to talk about our next thing. How to really honestly fix this whole advertisement drought thing that's going on with Halo.
Right. So Halo seems to not want to talk to us at all, but that's the worst way to put it. They keep on wanting to put essays out, but let's be honest, what gamers do you know that really want to read a whole essay?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of gamers that would rather watch a video than watch an essay. Read an essay. So what they really need to do, like so people like Halo Follower, they said that the best thing to do would be to release a 5-minute video of either a multiplayer campaign or even just seeing the system in general. Like, how is the armor system gonna look? Okay, are we going to have loot boxes and stuff? Because what they have done is basically put a bunch of negative stuff out there, and all they need is one positive thing to turn it back around.
At this point, I wouldn't even mind someone sitting behind a camera like we're doing right now, and at least telling us and going through the gameplay mechanics that are going to be good and give us just that little bit of hope in maybe this game does have potential and to where the fan base doesn't get as riled up as it has, because of the just no communication whatsoever.
Because let's also remember, when they first released the first trailer for Halo Infinite and showing the campaign, what is it that every single person remembers from the Halo campaign? Craig. Because no one remembered the essays upon essays after that trailer saying how the game was still in process and that was a 6-month-old video. They all remembered Craig. Why? Because it was an image that went everywhere and it was super instantly able to be seen and think of, oh, that's Halo Infinite. And that's what people think of nowadays. You think of Halo Infinite, you think of Craig, or at least they do. But that's basically just what it is on advertisements that I want to talk about, is that they could easily fix this, but they seem to be backing off. And who knows? Maybe they're backing. There's two possible ways. They could be backing off because they know they've done something wrong and don't want to show more. Or they're holding something back that they really can't wait to show us and just want us to see for ourselves. But either way, they need to do something.
Time for some good news. All right.
Only good news.
Unfortunately we've only got one here right now, but armor customization. I am excited for this because they did say that it's Halo Reach, but upgraded, which could be bad or good depending on where you stand.
I'm just hoping good. Okay. Halo Reach was amazing with customization. We've talked about Halo Reach this entire video because that is what the whole fan base wants. That's everything we want. And actually, I want to put some more good news that I wasn't able to put before. Apparently, the campaign for Halo Infinite is done.
Really?
Yes. The only trouble they're having now is the multiplayer, which they're trying to fix right now. But they said they're basically done with the campaign, and literally the employees have already been playing through it as if it was a normal campaign, not for any bug fixes.
The thing I'm excited about when it comes to the armor customization is Halo Reach armor customization was the greatest thing. Running around with maybe a robot arm and that giant armor piece with a Bowie knife on it where you just it just looked bad to the bone. You were gonna go in there and you were just gonna slaughter people, and just pub stomp,
Honestly, I don't know why they actually. The first thing they advertised was monetization. Who would think of that? I want to know who their marketing team is. But anyways, I would absolutely. That's one of the things. I would absolutely pay for robot arm. Robot leg, robot anything. That's what they need to realize. We're really easy to please. They just need to put certain stuff in there, but not color. But this is about the good news, and armor customization for Halo Reach was phenomenal, and they say it's upgraded now. So it makes me wonder, how upgraded we talking? Okay.
I mean, I'd be excited if we see more visor colors, maybe more robot appendages.
I actually worry. What if the visor colors are connected to the coatings? I sure hope not.
We're gonna shoot back to the bad news now.
But actually, I said this before. But what would have made this even better is if they made it to where each armor piece that you could customize, you could also customize the color of it. That would have made personality go through the roof. Don't get me wrong. That's much harder than doing this. But sometimes you need to make it. You need to go through the hard stuff in order to get some major wins. That would have been phenomenal. I think Halo Infinite would have went through the roof. And it could have been you could only select one color for one armor piece. But imagine if they made it to where you could select 2 different colors, a secondary, primary, for each different armor piece. That would have changed the game entirely. Beautifully.
And so, once again, super excited about armor customization. Now, goodish bad news depending on where you stand. First things first, free multiplayer.
Right.
We all know why they're doing the free multiplayer. Obviously, this is for microtransactions to be in the game. And to also get more player base so that they don't have to purchase the multiplayer. But we all know the main reason, like I said, definite, they're going to have microtransactions. So...
I'm going to expand on that. We've all heard this before. Halo has basically stated that they're going to make the multiplayer free. Yeah. And there's very big talk that the campaign is actually going to be $60. Okay. Which people are getting upset about because that's the campaign. It's only half of the game. Right. So it should be, if you're going to make someone pay for it, $30. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because multiplayer, we can honestly say that Halo is split into two parts: the campaign and the multiplayer. There's forge and customization, but that's technically goes into multiplayer category. So they want it to be $30.
Now, if it comes down though to, hey, you play the campaign, you could earn some really cool stuff for the multiplayer, like armor attachments, different colors.
Halo 5, if you finish the campaign, and I can't remember if this is true or not, but if you finish the campaign, I could have sworn you got like a different version of Master Chief's armor. Yeah. At the end, it was like broken, and it was called scarred armor or something like that, which that was really cool.
Yeah.
But bring us back to how. Bring us back to how this is all going down in free multiplayer. Everyone's biggest issue, everyone has said this before, is that if you're gonna pay for a game, then you shouldn't have too many microtransactions.
Exactly.
Perfect amount of microtransactions. Example, let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Only a couple weapon skins that were absolutely phenomenal, and DLC packs. Those were the good old days, back when Halo Reach, Call of Duty, all of that only had like 5 DLC packs that came out that had 5 different maps and certain skins or armors that was not garbage or slightly good, but were phenomenal, that made everyone want, and you know that they're taking away multiplayer. They say it's to get more people in, to let everyone enjoy Halo. But what they're really doing is so that we can put more microtransactions on you without you being able to complain that you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Which is very, very possible. I mean, we've seen it with other games, you said. Also, little bit of talk around possible Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale is heavily opinionated. It's it's kind of a controversial thing, especially with how big Battle Royale's been with younger kids and also definitely some adults. I mean, Warzone's been very, very popular with a lot of people. Fortnite, obviously, in its prime, was drawing a lot of attention. So when it comes to Battle Royale and Halo, it's one of those things where, again, you've got your vets who want Halo to stay the same, but you also have people who understand that the games do have to evolve. They do have to upgrade and kind of get into the realm of, hey, this is really popular right now, so, maybe we can make this just a step above.
And it's very much true. It's so controversial, from PUBG to Minecraft, Battle Royale to Fortnite, and even Call of Duty. There are some people who will say that Fortnite is really good. Some people will say really bad. Same with Call of Duty, PUBG. Like, I, for one, I really did kind of get into the Call of Duty Blackout and Warzone. That was really nice. There are some bugs, don't get me wrong. Yeah. PUBG, I felt like it was very slow, and I know that there's going to be people in the comments, one person in particular I can think of already, that I felt was very slow, and I just couldn't get into, but other people liked, and considering now today's generation, if you don't like the game that they like, then they get very upset at you for some reason. When that's because Battle Royale is definitely, like I said, an opinionated thing. Oh yeah.
Where I stand, I understand that games do have to grow. They do have to expand and try to upgrade. if they do think and they know 100% that they can make a very, very good Battle Royale experience, go for it, 100%. But if it's going to take away from the multiplayer, and if it's going to take away from that player base as we are, if that's going to take away from the experience of multiplayer, as it has in other games such as Call of Duty, where they kind of forgot about the multiplayer players and really heavily hit Battle Royale, if that does take the attention away from the just standard multiplayer, which everyone loves in Halo, definitely their player, mass that they already have, if that takes away from their experience, then I don't think that they should do it.
Right, and I absolutely agree. I'm on the same page with you. I am absolutely fine with a Battle Royale coming out for Halo, but the problem is, it needs to be good. I don't. Yes. we kind of don't want a Black Ops 4 flop. We want them to make sure that within their power, they know they can make a good Halo Infinite. Now, in my mind, right now, thinking of all the scenarios, I can't really see how they can make a good Battle Royale with using the weapons they have and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense on how you'd be able to do that. Going
into the next segment to kind of put it together.
Yeah.
If they do have loadouts, which is also another talk.
There's been a lot of talk about loadouts coming into the game.
I could see them pulling off a Battle Royale if it comes to attachments and things of that nature.
Right.
But at the same time, like I said, if it takes away from that experience of the multiplayer, then it's not going to be good, because what they're going to do is lose their multiplayer fans, and also could lose their Battle Royale fan people that are going up. And then if they mess up, that's why it's such a gentle process, and why they need to handle this very, very delicately, because right now Halo has a small player base anyways, from all the other games out right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do still have a player base, but it is pretty small compared to
smaller,
a lot of other games.
And this brings us back to that drought. They went for so long not showing anything on Halo. How long has it been since Halo 5?
I don't know.
It's been,
and that's one of the reasons why we are kind of throwing in other games as an example, because it has been a while since a Halo's been out, especially a new Halo. So we're kind of talking about mistakes that other companies have made and that we really just don't want to happen to Halo.
Don't get us wrong, we love Halo. We don't want anything bad to happen to it. And that's the whole reason why we want to make videos like this. Is because we want them to see. We want everyone to kind of show their concern and be there. We don't want to demand them to do something. But we kind of want to be like, hey, it'd be a lot cooler if you did this, and you might get more support. But I'm gonna bring up this loadout one more time, because Halo 5 came out with attachments for each gun. And it was sights, lasers, light bullets that kind of made the enemy kind of stunned a little bit, not too much. And then Halo 4 had the loadout system where you could put I believe it was assault rifle, battle rifle, DMR, and 2 Forerunner weapons and 2 elite weapons. I'm going to call them that. Covenant weapons. Okay. And different grenades and perks, which was nice, I will say. Problem is, they're talking about combining the two, and this is very dangerous territory here, because no one wants a Call of Duty in Halo. We want Halo itself. That's why we like Halo. We like Halo for Halo. We like Call of Duty for Call of Duty. Again, games can change. It's okay. But one thing that everyone loves about Halo is that no matter what customizations you put on your gun, you're still on very equal playing level with your opponent. So you both start, and it's pure skill. Like an assault rifle, you both have assault rifles. You were able to outmaneuver him even if he got the drop on you, because it wasn't like your gun was overpowered like in Call of Duty. And even if, let's say this guy had the max level gun that you could get with the attachments from Halo 5. If he had an assault rifle, you had an assault rifle, he had max level attachments, you had no attachments, you still would be able to beat him if you maneuvered correctly, because there was no super advantage. Right. The only thing I can think of that had even an ounce of advantage was these light tracers, I want to call them.
Yeah.
Where you get hit and it would do like a very, very like couple second stun of white light in front of you, just barely, just enough to kind of like get you off balance. But as soon as you got used to it, you were able to kill them.
Yeah. I mean, how I feel about the whole thing, that would be more to grind, and I'd honestly be okay with the grind. Again, I'm more
a grinder.
I love grinding games, and I very much
getting into that.
I love looking for the long-term replayability. You know, I just want to have fun while I grind out stuff.
That's all we want, is just to have fun.
Right, and I mean, there are some good aspects when it comes to loadouts and attachments that you can really personalize your weapon to your playstyle.
Right.
But again, like you said, they need to also try to keep that classic Halo Duty feel of, you know, even ground, you know, because I mean, like you said, in other games, to reference Call of Duty again, you know, when you have an attachment that maybe someone else doesn't have an attachment, that could very well be the, you know, the area which they kill you in. So it's just one of those things where, you know, I think it'd be good, you know, if they handle it right, for the grinding aspect and for the, you know, long-term.
Because you don't want to make it to where... One thing about Halo loadouts too, was between Halo and Call of Duty, was because Halo, you constantly are trying to get a different gun. You're trying to go for the rocket launcher. You're trying to go for the Spartan laser. In Call of Duty, I can't even name one time that you would actually go to pick up a weapon. But in a normal game, like team deathmatch. You stick with the loadout that you have. You don't do that in Halo. You go for every advantage you have possible. But in order to end this video, I'm going to talk about one other thing, and this was recently, just like today, talked about. And this is a spoiler for anyone who has not read the new book about Halo. It's like Shadows Rising or something like that. The new book is all about how Halo Master Chief and his team that you saw in Halo 5 go to Halo Reach, okay? In order to figure out if there's any way they can defeat Cortana. Alright? And they actually find bits and pieces of old fragments of prototypes of Cortana. So they actually think that there might be a new AI that Master Chief might be using in this new Halo Infinite. And I don't know how to feel about that, because we're all used to that good old Cortana, you know? I definitely would be a tearjerker, gotta be honest.
I mean, definitely gonna add the feels, you know? But I mean, I don't know. I'm okay.
It's story development too.
Yeah, that could honestly be a good character development and everything like that. So, honestly, hopeful. Worried about some things, but definitely had a lot of fun doing the podcast with you.
This was amazing. Definitely gonna have to do it again at some
point. We're gonna try to do a Cold War podcast soon. So be looking out for that. Are we going to
do that before or after it comes out?
We could do it whenever.
Yeah. Because we played the Cold War campaign already, so. But we don't want to get too much into that because this is about Halo Infinite. But we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this.
I did too.
And I really can't wait for the next one. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.